Oh, wow. Alright, well, to be fair, I just wanted to see some Gundam action, and that's what we're getting right now. And look at it right now. You know, TKT ain't having any more time at the moment. Still doesn't have the A point, doesn't have any of the B point either. But here we go. Last second. Man. Oh, on the second game. Oh, right. Right. There you go. Oh. Oh. That was a beautiful, beautiful, what do you call it? That was a beautiful last second play here coming in from, of course, Mafty, making sure that, you know, last second won't be able to get in any clutch there. And look at that. The remaining time right now for last second is going to be like 0. They're not going to be able to get in any points at all. But now Mafty just needs to get 1 point for them to be able to win the first game. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, yeah, for sure. But, you know, with this and with sorry,
Oh. Oh, it looks like I'm back.
there.
It looks like I'm back. Oh no, this.
Oh,
Yeah, it muted me for some reason. Actually, I don't know why it muted me.
Wow.
I didn't mute myself this time.
Well, that's actually very good because, like, at the very least, you know, our community here weren't able to hear you dissing me. So
That's true.
thank you very much for.
You know, I started off by saying like how all the technical issues were JJ's fault, but like the technical issue happened, so nobody could hear that. It's just a self-fulfilling prophecy here. But you know what? Okay, we're finally back in this. This is finally all happening. Once again, Mafty just needs to take a little bit of any of these first bomb points. They held off the entire enemy team extremely well. Last second needs to hold for such a long time. This is going to be difficult, and already we're going to see a capture on the relay here.
The waypoint. There you go. Yeah, the relay point is going to be captured here by Mafty. And again, as you have mentioned, they only need 1 point. And as it is right now, they are really trying to get in, being really aggressive. But the axe here coming in from that up, you know, the zombie is going to be hitting them down as well.
Oh yeah, and we can see this Hyperion really leading the push. It's been such a useful suit for breaking through these choke points just like this, being able to shield so much of your entire team. Right now, though, they weren't able to quite make it happen. It looks like they just did lose Profi and Arrow. The focus down on Profi was super good, and on the other side, they only lost 1 suit. So there's going to be a little bit of a retreat. Gasman playing a little bit aggressively, trying to go back towards that relay. But oh, this pick is huge.
Oh, wow, look at them. Everyone is just trying to get it in. All of them, all 6 of them, actually, just so that they could be able to, like, you know, try to get in. And now, beautiful Lumiere coming in from this, of the Hyperion, but they're not going to be able to get in. Actually, never mind, they were able to plant in that, the Mega Charge, but is last second going to be able to disarm it? That is the big question.
Oh, I don't know. This looks tough. They need to get somebody on it right now, and if this person dies, then it is over. But it looks like they weren't able to, and that is going to be Team Mafty taking the win in about, I want to say about 1 minute, which is a lot longer, or a lot shorter than the technical difficulties that we had. So I'm glad that we're all back. We got to see the classic Mafty gameplay, and honestly, there wasn't even much to say about that second round, right? I mean, we got to see a little bit of the first round, but the second round is just, it's the Mafty game. That's been what we've been seeing. It's just like a brick wall, and when they're on offense, they are the unstoppable force.
Yeah, right. Like, just like in any other game, if you want to really get in on a base of your opponent, you as much as possible be together with the entire team, with the entirety of the team. That's what we see. That's what we saw with Mafty. All six of them were all together going into A point, and from there on out, they were able to, at the very least, clutch it out. Getting in, planning in that mega charge, and then unfortunately for last second, they weren't able to disarm it at the last second. They got stopped in. They were able to destroy the suit, and unfortunately for them, well, Mafty's got the first point.
Yeah. We've actually seen quite a few times, not only this version of Last Second, but they had a pretty different roster in the previous event number 2. And both times they had a lot of actual last second wins. So I wasn't going to I guess say that they were done, even though the situation looks so tough. But Mafty, they're not going to let them live up to their name. They're just going to continue to play their own game. And I think one thing that I want to really focus on is just how well they were able to shift suits. Like I mentioned, we had Arrow switching over to the Pale Rider. We had Enders switching over from the Hyperion, from the Pale Rider to the Hyperion. And the flexibility is just so important. But we might see a different comp. We'll see. They've been playing a lot of different comps. We're going to be setting up for the next map. Thank you again, once again, everybody, for sticking with the technical difficulties. We're in now. We're locked in. We're going to see the rest of these matches, but we're going to take a short break first as we get into map number 2. We'll see you right after this. Game number 1 went by in a flash, but it's time for game number 2 here. Map 2 will be Flak Fort in Mafty versus last second. Mafty is up 1-0. It honestly was so quick that we honestly barely missed almost anything. But Flak Fort is probably going to be a little bit slower paced of a map. However, Mafty has seemed unstoppable. It's time to see if they can push through the first choke point at A and then just continue their run as we've seen them do time and time again.
Right, but again, this is a second map. Could go either way because Mafty, if Mafty wins here, then they're gonna be heading towards the grand finals where last season is gonna be going down.
Yeah, and there is, of course, Team Tekka Dynasty waiting in the losers finals, who is definitely not a team to sleep on. They've done really well against, Mafty as well as pretty much anybody has before. So we'll see how, we'll see who gets that match, right? But right now, there's still absolutely a chance for last second to take this. We do see Evictus on that Hyperion once again, and we'll see if the picks here can push through this. I mean, we haven't really had a chance to see Hyperion shield. Oh my gosh, they're holding the bridge?
Not yet.
Oh, this almost never happens. We just, okay, there was just a few shots just coming out, trying to get a few maybe extra hits and build some G meter, but now it's time to push in.
Right, at the very least, Mafty is now repelled back away into the A point, and now last second would have the chance to get in, and look at that beautiful Barbatus right there. Going to be able to take down one, but of course, that's going to be of a trade right there.
Yeah, Gasman getting the pick at least is huge, and just being backed up by the rest of the team. Mr. Big Large has been leading the damage by quite a bit. Ashmar's in such a good spot right now, just overall in the meta, and it looks like this push through is going to work. It only took them one push to get the entirety of Mafty off of the points. That is a great start. However, a few times here we've seen that Mafty is willing to give up this point and really try to back up so that they don't get staggered. It's time for maybe the arguably harder choke point here.
No, yeah, for sure. I'd have to commend though, Gasman actually being the one who initiated the, who initiated the fight that allowed other teams to get in. And another one here coming in from Gasman, unfortunately going to be able to miss, but never mind, going to be able to follow up with one more. But the Lumiere are going to help down Gasman.
Oh, just really trying to get that finish, but it's great to see it actually happen. There is not many people around for the side of Mafty. Yeah, a lot of great shots here, and this Ashmore Flame is going to make it so difficult to actually get through that top choke point. And look at this one tick. They are already working on 2 ticks, almost guaranteed, and they're just staggering this entire team of Mafty. Last second is not giving up this set despite how that last game went. 2 ticks by already.
No, that is not what they want to happen. They don't want to go home just this early. Man, game number 1 was so quick to finish, and they're not going to let that happen to game number 2. And look at that right now. They are now almost into taking in B point as well. There's going to be another one, and here comes the G maneuver, and the funnel's coming out. And look at that. Are they going to be able to finally get this one up? They still need a little bit more of those gauges coming into the B point.
Oh, they're so close. There's actually a duel a little bit here going on between Enders and Evictus, but they are just not able to find that last tick. I mean, already what they've gotten is huge. There's still 3.5 minutes left. They need one more successful push, and right now they're really like gathered together in this little choke point. We got the AoE damage from the Dom. They've got Mr. Big Large who's potentially around, so they could get chunked if they are not careful about their positioning. Casino even popping the G maneuver a little bit early, the Screaming Nimbus, just to make sure that there's not that much of a chance to regroup here.
2 are now down into the last second, but at the very least, they still have like 3 more minutes. They still have like a lot of time to play with, but at the same time, you'd want to get this as much as possible. But look at that, the Victus is going to be taken out by the Dom here. There's going to be another one here, especially that, Victus is one of those players that has been initiating the team fight along with Gasman as well, but Gasman's going to be going down.
Oh, yeah, this is a start of a really strong hold, it seems like, from the side of Mafty. They're starting to get their picks. Their G maneuvers are just so numerous right now. They have 5 available, every one but that Screaming Nimbus. On the other side, they only have the punch from Mr. Big Large, and this is actually an interesting fight. Both teams kind of on the opposite side of the high ground here on the point, but Gasman jumping in again, making plays this game.
Now, what I can say, though, is that last second cannot be together, because with this turn A having availability all over that G maneuver, they can just like take him out real quickly. But look at that, here comes the grab here, and they're gonna be able to take down Carl.
Oh, yeah, that's huge. They really wanted that G maneuver to be able to defend this. Luckily, the rest of the team managed to pick it up themselves. They, I mean, just the shots of Enders, of course, one of our best, I guess you could say, hit scan DPS players that we have in the league is just going to hold it down just with shots, just straight up shots. Oh, no, Victus getting picked, Gasman getting picked. I think this has to be a full regroup on the side of last second. And I like this repositioning a little bit more offensively from Mafty.
Right, but at the same time, you know, Carl here still does have the access to the G maneuver, so they still need to be wary of that. They cannot be together, but at the same time, last second has 3 G maneuvers up and running, you know, ready to be popped up anytime soon.
Okay, the biggest thing here, I think, is going to be the butterfly versus the butterfly, right? Both the turn AG maneuvers. Right. I know Mr. Big Large is going to be ready to snipe it out of the sky with the Ashmar punch if we do see it coming out of Carl's second, and it is going to be a punch.
Oh, there we go.
Whoa, no, he's not close enough.
Oh,
he's not close enough, but he's going to snipe him. Oh, that was great. Okay, that wasn't the way that you wanted to get him out of the air, but it did manage to stop a lot. We've got players on point. There's only a few players left up for Mafty.
No, yeah, for sure. You know, one of the biggest pressure right now that last second has, that Mafty has against last second is now out, and all they need to do now is just push in. But Mafty's really doing a good job into defending his point.
Oh, and Evictus getting killed out of the Lancer G maneuver. That could have been almost an entire team wipe. That could have been it, but this has to be a regroup. This is going to have to come down to a last second moment for last second. They've got just one more tick available. They've got one regroup available, but their resources are almost nothing. And with Casino having the Screaming Nimbus, this is going to be very difficult.
But here you go, you know, Mafty, you know, Anders with the Pale Rider still trying to, you know, poke some damage, but Gasman is going to be taken out again. And, you know, again, Gasman is one of those initiators that they really need for them to be able to get in. And look at them, all of them are actually low on health right now. That's going to be 3 down, no, make it 4. No, Evictus going to be taken out as well. No, not quite yet, but that's going to be 3-4 down into last second. 2 seconds left. And that's going to be it.
Yeah, not able to get that final tick. That initial push was so good. It was so good, but then they just lost their momentum. It came down, I think, a lot to the fact that they really wanted to win off of that first push, which makes a lot of sense, right? They were doing so well, so they used a lot of their G maneuvers, and Mafty, despite the fact that they were on the back foot, they didn't spend all of their resources. They saved it for the subsequent pushes, and so they always had some good tool to defend. Regardless, though, 3 ticks on the final point here is great, especially against a team like Mafty. Now we need to see if Mafty can actually push through themselves. And in the past, when we've seen Mafty on Fort Flak, they have taken a little bit longer to take point A than some of the other teams. They take their time with it. They don't really have that much of an option. They have to really win this map here. And of course, it's Mafty. They can do it. But this could be one of the first times that we see a good win against them from last second.
Right, but at the very least, you know, last second he was able to buy them a lot of time here, you know, going to be able to get in that 94% into that of the tick off the B point. So, you know, even if Mafty does have like, I believe 6 minutes, for the first point, you know, they, what do you call this? They still have a lot of time if ever, you know, Mafty gets the point A.
Yeah, honestly, the fact that they didn't quite finish out is just a huge boon because they get that much extra time. Oh, I love the turn A Shining Light skin, I think it's called. But here we go. There's only about 9 seconds till we start. We can actually look at the comps a little bit. Fusion Blackie, one of the better turn A's that we've seen. Carl Sagan as well, just one of the best shots that we see. Great flex pick. But as we expected, they are going to stay pretty much the same here. Not a ton of huge changes. I'm surprised Enders isn't on that Hyperion, but maybe just feeling confident more with the classic pick of the Pale Rider. We're not going to see the peaks out onto the bridge. It's all coming out of this first push.
Right, here you go. You know, last second allowing Mafty to get in on A point and, you know, want to get in that team fight over that area. But, you know, last second here is really defending this real well. Mafty cannot find anywhere to get in.
Yeah, their positioning is very strong. Holding back on this particular little, I don't know, bridge, I guess you could call it the little high ground there. It tends to work very, very well. It seems like Fusion Black may have found somebody trying to sneak around, but yeah, Blue Jay going down. This could be the spot to push in, but Casino getting traded as well. Same thing with Devotion. This might have to be a reset.
Yeah, it's going to be 2, though. Well, they're not going to be able to, you know, try to regroup so that they can, like, you know, push in. But here you go, Focus trying to get away, you know, especially the Ashmore with the very huge maneuvering here. mobility rather is what I wanted to say. But Profi here trying to get in some shield and HPs again. Try to get in, try to defend this away. Try to attack last second, right?
Yeah, but gets thrown, but there's no actually full follow-up from the side of last second. Of course, especially with the nerf on the damage that throw in this previous season, you're not going to be able to as easily one-shot, especially the high-health units like a Sazabi. The flank behind from... Oh, actually, it wasn't even the flank. That was just an escape.
Wow.
My bad. That was Mr. Big Large. I saw it in Ashmar. I was just like, oh, it's probably focus. But, this is the scariest thing about Mafty. As soon as they take a point, they steal the space so well. They take space better than any other team. You can see they're already pushing through this choke point. They're just forcing the team of the last second to retreat all the way to the high ground on point B, and this is already one of the most difficult spots on the map passed freely by Mafty. They've got 4 minutes left.
Yeah, Gasman actually whipped that attack coming in with the Barbie, but look at that. That's going to be 2 down from the Ashimar with the punch. That is a one-punch man right there, and they're going to be able to get in more as well. Mafty, with only Gasman being the threat to their team right now, is now getting into the B point and going to try to get in as much as possible. They need to get only 95% for them to be able to win this game.
Oh, Gasman is going to take down Casino at least, but finally getting grabbed, getting actually killed by the grab from Carl Sagan, and it was at least going to delay them a little bit. They've got to just hold here the G maneuver, the butterfly from Carl Sagan, and I don't think that actually killed anybody.
Right, but the pressure, though, that allowed them to, repel away last second is just huge for them. And look at that, they're going to be able to take in the third tech right now, and they're going to be able to try, last second going to be able to try to contest this, but are they going to be able to defend this away from them? I don't think so, as Mafty takes the win.
Oh, they were doing so well, but Mafty remains undefeated as expected. The defense just didn't quite go the way that last second wanted. That first push was amazing, and I'm glad that we got to see it. I'm glad that we got to see somebody really, honestly, at least for the first 75% of that first round, we got to see them kind of dominate Mafty, which has really never happened before. Anytime that Mafty has kind of almost lost, it's been like a close back and forth, and they always just win from the back foot. But that was really dominant, and then it wasn't, because Mafty, they're just so good at bringing things back. But that does mean that Mafty will earn their place as expected in their third grand finals in a row in these Breakout Series events. But honestly, we just have to kind of look forward, right? The fact that we see that last second stands a chance to not only win these matches, but potentially, in a dominant fashion, means that I feel like if they go back up into the grand finals, they get a 3 out of 5 set, they have more opportunities to adapt. They could be the ones that finally at least take some wins on Mafty, if not take them out completely, but they are going to have to first fight Team Tekka Dynasty.
No, yeah, for sure. Again, as you mentioned, just to reiterate, they still have a chance to get back to getting back to Mafty if they manage to defeat Team Tekka Dynasty. But again, Team Tekka Dynasty isn't just any team. They're a really good team, and I guess one of the fan favorites as well in this competition. So that is going to be a huge wall for them to to get on, to defeat, or to put water on, or whatever you want to do it, or whatever you want to say on that. But again, they are quite a menace as well to fight against.
Yeah, I mean, all of these top 3 teams are incredible. I also want to give a shout out to Gasman. That is, what a story, right? That Gasman yesterday, got the power supply of their computer destroyed by the Dr. Pepper via their cat. And then day 2, they actually already got a new fix set up, and they're back in play. And honestly, Gasman was making some of the big game-making plays within that set, just getting a lot of these huge picks. And it's very difficult with Barbados.
I guess that is just the buff of getting new parts for your PC. I mean, it just like having a new skin, it boosts your morale, making you play a lot better for I don't know how scientific it is, but it just makes you better.
Yeah, have you seen the PC case that's the entirely themed Gundam PC case? And I think they have a GPU that's Gundam themed. I think if you play Gundam Evolution on that, you get to 300 FPS or something. I think that's that's how you unlock the 999 FPS. You just got to have the actual Gundam computer. But again, that does set us up for our losers finals match. That is going to be Team Tekka Dynasty, that has been waiting on the losers side, going up here against Team Team Last Second. That's guaranteed to be a really, really good match. I think we're ready to go to a break here. I don't know if we can confirm from production, but we are going to have, again, that be a 2 out of 3 match. You're not going to want to miss that for sure. And also on top of that, we are going to have Jamerson back on the mic in my spot, so you're not going to have to see my ugly bug anymore. But you're not going to go anywhere, because we're going to have our top 3 match, our losers finals match, to see who's going to make it to grand finals right after this.